the same place last night. Welcome to paint. Welcome to art night. What are we calling this? Art again? Art with us. No, what has
Art along?
Art along. Welcome to Art along for Clear Life. So anyway, we're gonna start with this guy right here. This is the OG purple version. We have a couple of okay, Google, turn volume to 4. Couple little changes, not too much, but we're gonna be doing a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I also ran the same image through at 5 by 7, and you can just like last time, you can like download, go to the first page that's on our website. I mean, you know, all of them are be on the website too, but go to the first one, and that's where you can download the image, and it's a really light sketch of this will be good to make sure this is on too. Yeah, yo. Okay, cool. It's like a really light sketch. It's almost hard to see on there. It's a little bit, it looks a little darker in person, I think, but maybe not. Anyway, so this first bit, I'm just gonna kind of get this taped down, jump right in. I'll be listing this time. I'll kind of be listing the colors we're gonna use in a second here. We'll be using the Simply Simmons brushes again, and the colors, I'll just kind of like list the colors we'll be using here. Whoa. But then
what a nice one palette.
I know, isn't that pretty? That was actually the one from last night. We tried to record this last night and I was like tripping. I had a very moody artistic night of it, and we didn't succeed. So we're trying again, because that's how it goes with art. We're in a whole new space. We'll flash a little picture of that now. This is the Yellow House out in Canby, Yellow House Studios. So we kind of had to rebuild the rig for the
move
to hold the the recording situation. Extra professional, very similar to before.
just our stone.
I'm just taping everything down with some kind of light, medium grade, like whatever's the cheapest at the hardware store means it's like probably perfect. It's like good, but not great.
Or like okay, but not good. That might even be better. Happier is better. You say it's like,
Yeah, you don't want it to stick too good.
no.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that one's beautiful. Is that a mask?
No, it's a swimsuit.
Oh, that's funny. We've been making some, well,
There's like
Elizabeth,
some straps on it that I'm going to take off and try and use.
oh cool, nice. Do you not like that one too?
It just has these extra pieces in the front that it like, I don't like.
Oh cool, well that's great.
So,
She's been making some masks. I'll wear my mask at the beginning of the next segment. The other difference that's probably obvious is that we're trying to do this vertical instead of horizontal. Seems like it'll fit well with Instagram TV that way, and YouTube does that as well, so that's good. And that we're going to do 2 versions of the same painting here. I'm going to use the same colors and the same, like a modified minimalist technique to do the smaller one. So I'm going to call the smaller one more of like a pocket sketching style, and that's something we're going to use this like Sakura travel kit, koi watercolors from Sakura. These are actually pretty good, to be honest. There's probably like $20 or something. I don't know. I'll look it up and we'll put a price there. But I've used it quite well, a little bit.
I've used it a bit.
And
I
I
don't
like
like it.
Yeah, I think the colors are nice. You were saying you thought they
I mean,
were...
it's like hard to compare it to something that's going to be like an $8 tube of paint.
Yeah, totally. And the cakes are just different. Like,
And
not
they're
necessarily
old.
bad, but different, for sure. And they're old. Which I don't think should matter a whole lot with watercolors. I feel like they should just react to it. But anyway, what do my feelings matter in this? Otherwise we're using the same brushes we were last time. We're using the Simply Simmons. There's like a wide flat one. That's a 1-inch brush. Any wide flat one will do. We might not even really use that very much. There's
Probably
like...
my least favorite watercolor brushes.
I don't use it really at all. I prefer the
It just feels
capstone
more,
or...
I like the rounder brushes. They
Yeah.
just feel more freeform.
Let's do this without that, actually, because that's
Like
going to
I'm
be...
not painting walls.
Yeah, I mean, what are we painting here? Flat things? Come on.
Flat
I
rectangles.
mean, so stupid.
Okay, geometry.
So I'm gonna, this is the number 10 and the number 4 from Simply Simmons. The number 2 is good. Any small, pointy one with, like, for watercolor, you just want a lot of bristle. Usually they're longer, and they hold a lot of liquid in them so that you can get a lot of flavor up in there. Where's the sample right here? Awesome. So, same as last time, actually. We're gonna start out with, oh, see, is the cord up in my way? No, it's not, huh? Is the cord in the way? This thing? A little bit. Well, you know what? It's all good. If you wanna grab a clip or something. I wanna keep it kind of centered, too, but... Anyway, cool.
This is much better.
Yeah, we're good. So I'm gonna take the bigger brush here, the number 10. What we're gonna do to start out with is same as last time. For this version, this is actually all, even though this looks different, that second layer is what separates it. For now, it's all gonna get the same coloring, and having that color behind what we put there will help it feel like it's actually, real light getting reflected. So words, I'm gonna go ahead and wet that brush, a lot of water. Again, I can have 2 water dishes, a clean one. I'm gonna try to keep that for clean stuff that I make colors with. And then this one's a dirty one, and just like clean my brush and dry it off on a towel. A lot of times they'll recommend a paper towel, but we're running low on those, so this is an old paint rag I use. This one's actually a little bit stiff, so I'm gonna get a softer one. Any soft, like.
That's as soft as like a key feature.
These are cotton, so these are cotton.
Watercolor towel.
Cotton towels I got from Lowe's, and there was like a pack of. What is it, like a
You
pack of
still like your
75? It's like a pack of 75 for $20 or something like that. So it's totally something that you would use as a rag. It's great. A paint rag might be okay. That's
It's
what
not
these
your
are.
crunchiest towels, yeah?
You know what? I like your attitude on this. I'm going way deeper into this, and you know what?
No crunchies.
No crunchies on your towels is where we want to be.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I'm gonna take this bad boy, and I'm gonna leave the 5x7 alone for the moment. I'll show you how we're doing that in just a second. For now, though, I'm gonna paint right up to the island. Again, if you need the image, you can get that from this website, Bling, or you can just
You
take a
can
look
go
at
to Crater Lake.
take a look at the screen, look at any picture of Crater Lake. What
We're
you
not,
really
because
want
we aren't going to the state parks because we're quarantining and staying at home.
yeah, so probably don't go to Crater Lake
Yeah, don't
right
guys.
now.
Don't guys.
But then this could be any time. Like now isn't now in
Unless
video
you're not
time.
on quarantine. So to be clear, if you're not on quarantine, you should go. But if you are, you should stay at home.
To be clear, to Crater Lake, to be clear, or any state park.
To be Crater Lake clear.
To be clear,
To be clear.
to be clear.
To be clear.
Anyway, here we are. So we're still painting.
Full picture for me.
So just paint, get away.
Ooh, I know, right? Isn't
that tight?
Customized.
Is that one mine? That one's mine, right? I won't put it on yet. I'll put it on in between, but then it's real quick to put on, and it looks awesome. So if anyone wants to
Comfort.
get one of these, let us know. We're doing this. Pretty inexpensive at this point. What do you think? Like $5-10?
Something like that. We'll see.
By the
That's
way,
how long it takes me.
I'm also setting up I'm gonna set up a Patreon for this because we just like everyone else, I'm not gonna pander for money, but I think we're all starting to get to that point where it's like, what are we all gonna do? So any contributions to help us keep these videos coming out and keep honestly getting groceries would be radically appreciated. But otherwise, I will be keeping the videos coming out for free because I'm trying to think. In my mind, we're all in this together, and if that really is the case, then we should be giving away what we do for the moment because money is not going to get us out of this. Each other is going to get us out of this. But anyway, enough about me. That sounds a little bit of a soapbox or something, but just ignore me, basically.
I mean, what do you think the odds are that you'll be in 1.5 right now? We love you at 1.5.
That's probably true. I'll be at 1.5.
This
And
could be
people
the
be
chance to get me at 1.5.
like my long pauses seem like really short, thoughtful pauses. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you at 1.5, you sound like a really cute chipmunk. You're
Exactly.
like,
I'm like,
yeah.
chipmunk is exactly what I was thinking too.
A little, yeah. So I'm in. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. So this has been painted really well now. I'm actually honestly kind of like letting it chill a little bit, just in terms of letting it kind of have a chance to really get the water in there. And if I need to add more, which I do down here to keep it wet, I will. But I want it to be a really nice sheen. So it's almost like a glossy. It looks like. What's a good way to describe that? I mean, it's just like it's like
What is that, like an eggshell finish? What they call it?
maybe satin. Or, high gloss almost, I'd say it's like shiny. You can't see like reflection, but you can definitely see a whole slick surface of water. So if it's
Because like the dry paper's matte.
yeah, if it's gotten patchy, then just add more water to that section. Just, again, we were just painting the sky down to the tree line, and we're leaving the island unpainted. So, okay, so I'm gonna take now some yellow, some of this yellow, and any bright yellow you have will do. This is probably Azo Yellow out of the M. Graham watercolors. Do we have any more of that one, actually? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Oh, yep, it is Azo Yellow. And do a little squeezy deezy. When I put it on my palette, if you have little slanted ones, what I do is I put it up to the top of the slant, and that is, that keeps then we get some really, really dense yellow down here in the well, and as we add water to it and bring it out into the pan, you can dilute it. Okay, so I got a little yellow. And I'm kind of really make sure it's on there. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and drop that right into the wet paint. Actually, I'm gonna get the orange ready first too. So I'm gonna take some OJ. Are you gonna paint as well? Oh no, you're doing some fabric stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, I was thinking about doing the little one over there.
I mean, that'd be cool. We started one last night, and she was doing the 5x7. It's part of our confusion, actually, was that we started too many things at once. But tonight we're a little more focused, and yeah, classic, right? Seriously, we're in quarantine, so let's do 50,000 things.
Exactly. Let's play ukulele. Let's make them first.
Yeah, totally. First, we'll have to paint the ukuleles.
Let's first make them.
So mine's nice and watery still, and that's part of the reason I mix the colors in between is because I want to see that it stays wet this time. Sooner or later, if you keep painting it wet, if it's drying like just on the fly, then just do it again with clean water still, and it'll make it work, and it'll stay wet, So that's kind of what we want. That way, when we put the paint in, it's going to really travel. You see, I had a little yellow on my brush. I thought I cleaned it well, but it's cool. So here I go. That one looks really nice. So I'm going to take the yellow. I'm going to go right around island on both sides. I'm just going to drop it with the paint right into the wet surface where it's already been painted with water. And I'm just like tap, tap, dance along, get a little more pigment. This is out of the pan, so it's not like the strongest it's ever been, but it's not the weakest it's ever been. And I'm going to just spread a nice little orbit around it. It's maybe, you know, I don't know, an inch thick, something like that. Clean that brush real good. Jump straight into the orange. And then I'm going to leave a little bit of white. I'm kind of putting this like in the middle of where I'm going to want it to spread out. So I'm going to put it here, thinking it's going to like kind of meet up with the yellow. And if it doesn't want to, I'll show you in a second, but I'm going to kind of run it around with my, just get more, just add it right to it.
Doesn't want to, just force it.
If it doesn't want to, yeah, make it. Absolutely. You are in control of your own watercolor. And this is just a demonstration. If you have different colors, if you have a different feel to it,
Like, obviously.
support. We all,
This is not the colors of Crater Lake.
it's true, but I mean, maybe it is
But it's the
sometimes.
colors of my Crater Lake.
The crater,
It's the crater of my lake.
it's the crater of my
The
life.
crater of my heart.
The heart, it's the
The
crater
Crater Lake and the crater of my heart.
in the crater of my heart. Anyway, while she's been showing me that, I'm going to say I was doing I believe that's a cobalt blue. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong on that, and I'm cleaning off the brush and getting the Alizeran Crimson. Mix those two together. Should make a nice perp. I also have a purple, so I could use that if I wanted to, or I could do this blue and that red, or this blue and that red, and almost every mix would make a different purple that are all Reverie. But I like this one right now. So this has been drying. I'm just going to really kind of drop this in around the edges this time. If it has gotten dry all the way up to the edge, I'll just paint it in. But I want it to be wet, so if it's all dry already, then like add a little fresh water first maybe, or I don't know, you know, maybe just don't talk as much as I did. So I'm doing the same thing with a little bit of white there. I'm going to go right on the bottom where the lake just meets up with the shore, and you can even paint the edge right where you want it. Just don't paint where trees are, and just paint the purple. It'll spread into orange. I'm going to do no stirring with the paintbrush. I know that sounds weird, but that's one of the most critical things. So right now, instead of looking like this, it looks like this, which is a little more blocky. One of the things we do is just move that around with gravity. So when I turn it this way, all these little purples here are kind of spreading down to the orange. If I do want the orange to go a little further, I'll get a clean brush, take some orange here. If I put it back in conservatively, back here, then it'll just travel, because my board is slanted, and work right into that purple. And they'll make a new friend in the middle there called Oriurple. No, I don't know what they'll make their own friend. Orange and purple are actually going to make kind of a neutral middle. So that was like a decent start. I still feel some of that, like the graininess, or maybe I feel like those are touching and I wanted to leave white space there. I'd say first of all, letting it dry and seeing what happens is like your best bet. But here, if you want to like remove a little, I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to wipe all of the paint off of it on my towel, and then I'm going to use like a mop. And if I just roll the brush through there and it's dry, what it does is it removes the liquid. And sometimes some of these colors stain, and some kind of sit on top as pigments. And the stain ones, you kind of got to live with them sometimes, but some of that's just living and learning. But you can see already it's really lighting that up. And you go back to kind of add more pigment or running it around, or I'll just run mine around and play with it for a minute. How's yours going?
Good, but I need to, like,
Let it go.
yeah.
I'm just gonna add a little yellow back in the middle of mine, and then samesies. And it's even gonna feel a little purpley, but I'll just like work it out. So I'm just gonna let it roll, let it build out into orange. That's pretty good. Another trick that's a paper towel instead of or a rag instead of a brush, but it sort of does the same thing, is I'm gonna take this guy and I can just sort of press that into that, and you see how it's gonna, even that purple is staining a little bit, but that's just gonna remove it. It might create some water lines there in a minute.
Doesn't that make it look like
But those are fun too, and if I just add some fresh water, basically water lines come where the water's not even, so if I just add some fresh water here, and then I run that fresh water into all its neighborhood and make sure the whole neighborhood is sort of equally moist, then we're gonna be in great shape. Just be as moist as your neighbors. That's sort of how art works to me. I don't know how it works. Is that how it works to you, Elizabeth?
I mean, that's kind of how life works.
Yeah, I agree.
Just be as moist as your neighbor.
If you're more or less moist than your neighbors, a lot of the time that
Never
creates
be more moist
a moisture imbalance.
than the man to your left, you know?
Yeah. Another trick I like, just a loose trick, but if you put your darkest bit, this is a great acrylic trick, this is a great trick for all kinds of stuff, but if you put your darkest bit in the very deepest part where you're going to want it, yeah, I'll get some crazy blue, and we'll put it out here. And so see how dark that is, and then just like what I was showing you a second ago, I'm just going to let gravity do it. Kind of let it come out a little that way. You see it almost working out like magically, that's awesome. And then on this side, the same thing. Gonna let gravity do its work and just let that bleed out. Gravity do your thing.
Just do it, then go.
Just do your thing, gravity. You go, girl. So I'm probably at a good point where I should let mine dry, as are you, I'm sure, and people at home, and everyone else in the world should let their paintings dry.
Oh, because this is a world watched video.
Yeah, so South America, let it go. Asia,
Across
let it
borders.
go. That's right. France, England, let it go. Anyway, let it go. Honestly, you always want to fiddle with it more, and the most important thing, which we always forget, is to just chill. So I'm going to let this dry for a minute. and really very super quickly. The biggest difference being that I'm not going to underpaint it at all. The pocket sketching what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some painty color, and I'm just going to go ahead and paint right on top of this guy, and I'm just going to go ahead and take the color and just work it right into the areas really, really loosely. I think I'm going to work around the mountain on this one. I just want to get a nice little glow of yellow coming up to the tree lines. On this one, you can almost just put the color to where you want it to stop. They won't bleed together in the same way, but they will become friends regardless, because they just, you know.
Because like friendships are important.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, next time when I come back, I'll do like how I've been feeling, which is a weird part, which is weird because it's like
I'm feeling weird.
I've been feeling weird. Yeah, probably everyone is. I've been wondering about that. Like, does everyone feel weird right now?
I mean, I feel like if you don't, you. What are you?
Is
like,
everybody
what are you
wrestling with
feeling?
depression? You know what I mean? Like everybody, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, done. That was like, and that's the idea of pocket sketching, is that you could have this little kit. Oh, I should use this little kit. I'll show you more about that in a minute. But it's the same idea. I'd just be like, Yellow, come here, and then Yellow's on my brush, and well, but honestly, that went south because I wasn't very clean about it. So I'm gonna let this dry for a minute. Mistakes happen. I just wiped it off. Hakuna Matata. Put a little yellow back in. This was all with the smallest brush. Oh, I'm sorry, the purple. And while I do that, I'm gonna go clean that palette. And I'm gonna go clean that palette and make some macaroni and cheese probably or something. So, cut to fast forwarding.
No.